What's up, junkies? Welcome back in for another edition of Pigskin Junkies. Myself, Michael Larson, Big Brother Jared Larson, and Scott Panza here to recap the weekend of football that it was and how our cards have worked out. We are recording before the start of Sunday Night Football, not during Sunday Night Football, because Scotty has to get into his torture chamber and watch this one. Now, fellas, I got to say one thing before we get into it, and this is just being an adult, and it sucks. But why is there just not a halfway decent way to buy toilet paper anymore? I walk in there, and it looks like I have irritable bowel syndrome, because it's like, I'm going to get the bargain. I'm going to buy the buy one, get one free. So I got 95 rolls of toilet paper, and I'm checking out. It's like, yeah, I poop a lot, lady. I'm sorry, but I need all this toilet paper.
Micah, there's this thing. It's called Amazon.com. I'll show it to you later.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. The producer's the one who's technologically challenged.
Micah, everyone poops, buddy. So,
everybody
you
poops.
know, if you got to buy a ton of toilet paper, you know, be proud. Be proud.
You got to be happy about that. So, fellas.
You know, I'm doing adult things. I'm buying toilet paper. I wipe my butt. Done.
That's called being an adult.
That's
well,
right.
you guys are both wiping other people's butts right now, so.
That's a great transition.
It is a great
I
transition.
am. It's appropriate that I recorded these on Halloween because I was handing out candy every which where for the kids' consumption.
Oh, yeah? You
For
get
the
a lot of
listeners.
trick-or-treaters, Jared?
No, we didn't get any, but I was
yes,
handing out college winners
Winners.
for days. Winners, Arizona,
You had a
kick off the
big weekend.
NFL weekend. Hot winners, 4-1 on the college card. Plus, Memphis was just disgraceful. They were ahead by 14, laying 6. SMU scored a garbage touchdown, went for 2, and got it for a push, which is remarkable. Like with 3 or 8 seconds left on the clock, something like that. Just completely terrible coaching by whoever the coach there is now. But yeah, really good. USC, Mike and I were actually watching that together. USC looked really good in the first quarter and then just turned the ball over continuously, and kid looked like a freshman for the last, let's call it, 40 minutes of the game. So that one was not close. As I prognosticated, I said I would expect either a blowout or an outright win. I bet on the outright win, and the blowout, the latter, was the outcome of that game. But, yeah, I feel like I'm finally starting to hit a little bit of a stride with college, seeing the games much better now than I was earlier on in the year. So feeling good about where that's at. And the darts that I throw in the NFL happen to land in the bullseye this week. I don't pretend to be the NFL expert.
Another weekend of frustrating NFL play, starting with the Jags and the Jets. I mean, Jags-Jets, I had too much risk on the Jets. You know what was frustrating for me this weekend is my biggest personal cash plays, I spread too thin across my entry. So I ended up just having a lot of money on the Raiders, the Chargers, the Bills today, and, you know, I didn't have them spread across all my entries as I should have, and I had way too much Jets and Titans, Jags. So that was frustrating. And then I hopped on the Vikings late, and then Mike, I'll let you get to that later, but that's just an inexcusable loss there for them. But Jared, I'll tell you, you inspired me today. It was I was out with some friends. I put in a late parlay, 3-teamer. And it was Broncos money line. It was Chargers money line. Chargers Wonka Vader pick of the week, cash there, and Raiders money line, which really made my afternoon very happy.
Well, bam! That's like probably what, 10-1.
I'll take that.
Close to it, not quite.
Close, more than 10-1, like 11-1.
Oh,
A
okay.
little over 11-1. So
My parlay math
very
is getting
pleased
rusty.
very pleased with that outcome. And then actually, I mean, I guess teasers are suckers plays, but I spiked every which teaser today. It was pretty nice. So actually, as mediocre of a super contest day it was, standing at 2-2 across all my entries, and then circa standing at 2-2 or 2-3 across all my entries. I actually had a pretty good cash day. So, you know, we'll just
I like
Well,
teasers
I'm
in
on
the
the
NFL.
square side on the Pats tonight, and we'll dive into that in a little bit.
Yeah, I like teasers in the NFL. I just like 2-team 6-pointers, not these like 5-team 10-pointers that pay some juicy. There's some that are practical, and then I think the other important thing about teasers is what numbers are you going through? Going through 0 is a terrible idea as far as I'm concerned. But I'll give you an example of a teaser that I played today that was a loser, but I would do it again. I was able to get the Jags plus 1.5, so I was able to get through 3 and through 7. I had the Jags plus 7.5, and then the other one was the other side of it was Steelers plus 1.5, and I was able to get them up to 7.5. So anytime you can push, those teams through both of those key numbers, I think that's a positive EV play. Scott already alluded to it. The Jags, I didn't watch 1 second, but I looked.
Yeah, I've heard
enough said.
I agree on not passing. I need to hear more about. I agree. Like crossing 0 from like -5 to +5 is silliness, but there's got to be some math behind why not to cross 0 in any instance. So I'd love to see if like Rufus Peabody breaks that down somewhere.
Yeah, he does. So I'll give a Cliff Notes version. Is the reason is because you are paying for all of those extra outcomes. So as an example, if you have the Jags plus 1.5 as a straight bet, but you're able to get effectively, you're paying a price to get that team to plus 7.5. So you go, I'm paying extra for the outcomes of losing by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Whereas the flip side of that would be I'm going to plus 5.5, and the outcome of 0 is just so rare that it's not worth paying for from a mathematical perspective. So, the obviously the razor is quite thin as it pertains to positive and negative expected value on a wager, and if you're paying full price for something as discounted as a tie, that's where it can become useless, if you will. I don't know if that was make sense, was succinct or not, but that's why you don't want to cross zero.
Works for me.
I'm trying my best.
And then most importantly, Bills, another win.
Washington is so bad. So bad.
They're terrible. Dwayne Haskins is not good.
You had 2 Father Times out there just grinding it out at tailback between Gore and Peterson.
Yeah.
Just timeless. Studs.
Still on the field, which is miraculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stink. Washington stinks. Yeah. The Jets stink. Who else stinks? Chicago stinks. They made it tight, but they're no good.
Yeah. The Jets are just an extremely frustrating team to watch right now. And I don't know why I talk myself into betting them, because they're inept at coach, inept at offensive line, bad linebacker play, bad corner play. So just an extremely frustrating game to watch because they got up early the first drive, and then some people were tweeting at me today about that it's Sam Darnold's fault or Sam Darnold isn't good. I'm not selling Sam Darnold stock. I'll buy Sam Darnold stock all day. If you're a Bears fan, do you think you'd want Sam Darnold on your team right now?
Hell yeah.
I think so.
So
I'll buy Sam Darnold. I'll buy the dip on Sam Darnold. I hope for the Jets' sake that they get rid of Adam Gase as well. Actually, they should have him coach out the rest of the year because they want to continue to lose to get a top draft pick, because he's the way to make that happen. Fire him at the end of the year. And I actually think bringing the OC from the Kansas City Chiefs, bring him in to be your head coach next year and light a fire under Sam Darnold's butt, because he just won 2 games as home dogs against top teams in the NFC. With Matt Moore. Give me that guy. Give me that guy as a head coach. And his name escapes me. I think it's Eric with a B, something with a B.
I don't know.
What a win for the Chiefs today. Micah, do you want to dive into what you thought about the Vikings?
Yeah, it's Jared and I talked a little bit about it before the podcast, but it was a classic Vikings finish of Colquitt's been punting the ball fine all day. Actually, been doing phenomenal, truthfully. And then shanks it on the most important punt of the day. So they have to get 7 yards for their kicker, who's been absolutely money all day. Which Dan Bailey, a week after making NFC Special Teams Player of the Week, misses an extra point, which doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but that sort of stuff gets a little annoying after a while, and it changes how you have to approach the game. But anywho, have to get 7 yards, so you're like, okay, well, great. They've been absolutely shredding us all game. They'll be able to get 7 yards, and this game's over. Then we have a miraculous defensive play. I think they lost like 17 yards on the play. Moore fumbled it. We almost got it back, and then they hit Kelsey for 17 or 18 yards. So then again, all they need is 5 yards, and they hit Tyreek Hill in the middle of the field. So it's a chip shot 30-yarder. It's just this defense has been good, and then it's been great, and then there are these moments where at corner, if we're not hitting, Xavier Rhodes might as well just be halfway out the door. Trey Waynes can't seem to totally break through and be who he thought he was going to be. There's just a lot of questions at corner right now, and these people we're just getting shredded. If Matt Moore can step back and just chuck one up, which he did on a couple occasions, and they're coming down with the football and we're not getting any turnovers, then you can't expect to win like that. And you want Kirk Cousins gets the ball, tie game with under 2 minutes to go, and we lose a goal.
Almost
total.
2 of those. Yeah, it's like 145.
Yeah, and we lose 14 yards on that drive.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
this is the NFL, dude.
You.
Like that should be a score.
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying someone $30 whatever million.
Yeah. Frustrating.
I'll tell you, Micah, you have an even more frustrating look ahead. Sunday Night Football, primetime Kirk on the road in Dallas. Do the lights shine any brighter than Sunday Night Football in Dallas? I don't think so. Not in the regular season. That's a tough spot. I'm excited to see where that line comes out.
Yeah, we can record during
price.
the podcast. So it'll be okay. I don't really want to watch the game. I will have just
might get a cheap price.
We'll do a 3-parter for next Sunday so we don't have to watch it. How about that?
Yeah. I'll just
Recap, preview, and recap of the following week. Yeah, like just I don't want to watch this thing. You might get a good price on them because Dallas is a Monday night game. So a short week for Dallas.
That's true.
Yeah.
So Scott, I got to dive back into college here real quick because some earth-shattering news has happened in the college football world, and it's not often that on this podcast when we record that news breaks the day of us recording. So this is a great opportunity for us to kind of get our thoughts of everything out there. Jared and I have been dogging Taggart all year, but under no circumstances did we think he would be fired halfway through the season. We thought for sure he would make it to the end of the year. I mean, and probably see at least a majority of his contract out. But Florida State had other plans. And Jared, I don't know if you're hearing this, and I want to try and get it confirmed from someone, but they're saying after the Miami game yesterday that they received about $20 million in private donations to buy out his contract.
No way. No way.
Please be true. Please be true.
Cannot be true. What did these Florida State people all of a sudden just get rich and like they have a shit team, so now they want to give money? Like that makes no sense.
Didn't want to give money for indoor.
Yeah, you didn't want to give money when they're winning national championships, and now they're terrible, and you want to give money? Like makes no sense to me. I mean, I know that these like GoFundMe things can be pretty powerful sometimes, but $20 million is a lot of money.
A lot of dough.
Takes a long time to get there with $13 donations. So I don't believe that. I would be very interested to see what they do in terms of a hire, dollars and cents. I don't think they can afford to pull away someone that they're going to really want. And I think this is the conundrum that I talk to you about all the time. If you're going to fire someone, who are you going to get? Yes, I understand that Florida State has cachet in terms of their past abilities to win, but the infrastructure there is not very good. The facilities are not very good. The administration, in my opinion, is not very good. And the players, yes, while quality on the field, I think don't have the situational awareness to win football games at that type of, level. So I I'm shocked, really, that they fired him. I think it was even like 2 weeks ago on our podcast. I said there's no way they'll fire him this year. It'll probably be after next year just to get that buyout down a little bit. So I don't know, dollars and cents wise. I'm dumbfounded. Hopefully this is coming through in my answer, because I really don't understand what the plan of attack is.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of names swirling around, one of which I think we'll have to. I know PJ Fleck's name's going to get thrown in the mix at some point.
It definitely is.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt real bad.
100%.
So if he goes to Florida State, is he going to have to say, like, row the canoe? Because it's like the Seminole War canoe, or kind of how is he going to?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he'll leave.
I don't think he will either. But those are things.
Minnesota for Florida State. But there's other stuff. I mean, he'll probably sniff it. He should.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's obviously in over his head, as I said a million times. It really stinks for me because now, Scott, this is the college version of Nathan Peterman. Like, you just continue to fire against this guy and cash tickets every week. And now they fired him, so it's just like, oh, okay, I guess we're going to have to find somebody else to bet against.
I didn't watch
I should have hopped on the Miami train with you yesterday. I missed that.
Yeah. I had them. I get money line. Well, my NFL Wonkabator was the Jags, so whatever you would have made on Miami yesterday, you would have given right back.
You know, I forgot the game kicked off at 9:30 this morning. I got back from Tampa late last night, and then this morning my lawn was just littered with leaves. So I was raking leaves for 2.5 hours this morning. And I missed the Jags getting the bet in. So I'm so glad that I was doing that instead of getting the last second Jags bet in, because what a disaster they were today.
Man of the people, raking leaves, out there working.
Have to do it. Have to do it. And you know what? I filled 15 bags of leaves today. 15 bags of leaves.
Jeez. And
it barely looks like I made a dent. It's so frustrating.
Must Connecticut. Be at least. We have zero leaves here. I have 0 leaves on the ground.
No,
so, or will I have
down
it?
In your neck of the woods this weekend, Jared. It was pretty nice to get a tan and relax. But I think
back to the torture chamber.
I think I'm all set with the strip malls down there, and et cetera, et cetera.
They're everywhere.
So, Scott, it's time. We're going to let you dive into it. Pats, Ravens. I know we talked a little bit on the last one. We can talk about it now, and then we'll dive into Monday night.
I get the sharps that bet this thing all the way down from 5-3, and they're all over the Ravens off the bye, all that chit chat. I just think this is just a case where they're overthinking it, and they're looking for a way to bet against the Pats. I mean, Bill Belichick against first and second year quarterbacks is just, he's just crushed them. This line is serious overreaction against the Patriots. With the Ravens off the bye. They're going to make Lamar Jackson, it's cliche, play left-handed. I think they're going to have containment. They're going to have strict gap assignments and keep him contained and make him a passer. And let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can get it to Hollywood Brown and such. Big game for Jamie Collins, big game for Dante Hightower. I loaded in on the Patriots. I have them in my contest or super contest. I have them in gold. I have a lot of exposure today. So, you don't make money betting against the Pats. I just think this is a great Monday or Sunday night national TV spot for them to, remind everyone, we're the champs. So I'll lay the 3. I get it square. I know the public's going to be all over them, but I think similar to what we saw last year with the Chargers, that number got bet down big time in the playoffs. And I think the Sharps are overthinking this one, so I'll be on the Pats.
Yeah, I don't want to pretend like I'm comfortable taking the Ravens in this game. This is not going to be easy, but I think Scott pointed out a lot of things that I would say, which is Ravens off a bye. I think any Patriots fan to a man would tell you that the offense has looked rather pedestrian this year. Now, whether or not that's because they haven't had to score, because the defense has been playing at such a high level, or because Tom is another year older. And I know this is like blasphemy to the city of champions and the fans therein, but I look at their offense, yards per play, total offense, and I'm pretty unimpressed. So the Ravens defense kind of speaks for itself. There's a brand name there. The Harbaugh as the head coach obviously has that unit usually running at tip-top speed. So home game, off a bye, good defense against what I expect to be a fairly pedestrian effort from the Patriots offense. Now, $1 million question is here, can you predict the unpredictable, which is the amount of points that the Patriots defense has scored this year? I do not expect or anticipate that to continue against the Ravens, but that's why it's called gambling. So I'm going to stake my cash that they don't get it in the end zone on the defensive side of the ball. But if that happens, I'm with Scott, and I would expect the Patriots to win pretty comfortably if the defense continues to play and score at the level that they have for the first 8 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean, that defense is no joke.
I'm excited. This is going to be a great game. I'm juiced.
I'll be watching. I'm locked in. It's going to be great because I can't wait to see what Belichick does against Lamar Jackson, because I feel like he's the only guy. So again, like I expect them to slow him down significantly based on my respect for Belichick as a D coordinator. I just don't. The defense has been scoring at such an insane rate that it cannot possibly continue. Now, whether it slows down later in the season or tonight, nobody knows. Again, that's why they call it gambling. But as a fan, it's going to be great because he's still, whatever. He talks about the running back, and he torched Miami like BFD. With his arm. He really hasn't torched anybody else this season with his arm. So and Belichick's going to say, "Beat me with your arm," and it'll be fun to watch.
Next up is the Monday night game, Cowboys-Giants. What do you guys feel about that?
Ugh.
I'm another square spot. I'll take the Cowboys lay the 7. I just haven't been impressed with Pat Shurmur. Offensive line, massive issue for the Giants. I think this is a great spot for Zeke and Dak and Amari to get right and lay it to their divisional foe. So I'll lay the 7. Another obviously square spot because I'm sure not a lot of people are going to be excited to take Danny Dimes at home on Monday Night Football, but I'll lay the 7 with the Cowboys. I have one circa entry with them.
Yeah, no play here for me. Divisional game, Monday night at home. My opinion on this game is that ESPN needs to get a new negotiator with the NFL, because whoever the hell picked these Monday night games is a moron, because they're all terrible. Like, how can they? And they've been terrible. This is week 9. How many Monday night games have you watched more than 8 seconds of this year? Honestly, 2?
No.
It's been really bad. And you know what? And Sunday Night Football has been great. There's been a lot of great matchups, but the Monday Nighters are just not good. At least next weekend will be a good one. You'll have Seahawks, Niners, and then Vikings, Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. So, that's something. And even the Thursday Nighters, Chargers, Raiders, and the Raiders are quietly a good team, but the Chargers can get back to 500 with a win on the road. So, sandwich between that is a lot of blah, blah, blah. But
I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, how can you whiff so? Like, the Thursday night game has been good. The Sunday night games are good. But the Monday nights are just duds every week, like trash. And I get whatever the Sunday night thing. Okay, you can flex teams in. The menu is a lot larger on Sunday for NBC, but like, come on, man.
Sure.
I gotta scratch my itch.
I feel your pain, Jared. But
you know what? Touch these games.
I don't like being up late on Monday nights. I don't want to be up until midnight watching the Monday night game. It's too frustrating.
Yeah.
It ruins the rest of my week. So I'm glad that they're crap games.
But Booger McFarland doesn't just lull you to sleep, just put you singing a nice little lullaby.
No, you
I'm bringing the envelope.
ESPN Deportes.
Obejote.
So a little bit of social media fun here for you guys right now. Hashtag Fire Freddy has 2,178 tweets so far. It is now trending in the United States. Things getting hot in Cleveland right now for Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah, he's in over his head as far as I'm concerned.
He is so in over his head. I mean, there's going to be a lot of good jobs available this offseason. The Falcons, amazingly, the Browns is kind of a good job. The Jets, you get to coach in New York. All these, I mean, I'm assuming that he's going to be waxed.
After 1 year?
There's going to be good jobs available. Absolutely. He's been coaching that division for a few years now. He's totally inept. He does not deserve to be a head coach. He's showing his true colors. He can't even handle a press conference. Adam Gase. He cannot handle it. He cannot be a head coach. He's not a leader of men. You can't lose to the Dolphins like they lost this week. It is pathetic. He needs to get waxed. He should be waxed tonight, but he won't be.
Like an eyebrow wax?
1 year.
Like,
Him
like
and Freddie, gone.
Wax? Like the full Monty, or just like fire some coordinators? No, I'm kidding. I think there's a lot of. I would say Gase is one of these guys. Quality, above average coordinators on their respective side of the ball. Now these guys both happen to be offensive, but Wilkes is another example. Vic Fangio, I think, is another example. Coaches rather, that are fantastic at, we'll call it in the room, so team room, position room, whatever, but can't do the CEO thing very well. Unfortunately, I think we have one of those.
I'm not selling Vic Fangio stock after that win today.
I'm selling it. I've been selling it. My short position has been on since week 1.
I don't know. I was impressed today. That's an impressive home win with Brandon Allen at quarterback. And then one last thing, Adam Vinatieri.
Laces out, Dan.
What?
Laces out, Dan. Yeah, did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, it was.
I just saw the miss.
Laces were like dead into him, and it looked like a duck hook drive, like low left, dead. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's entirely to blame, but it definitely didn't help. Because I thought the same thing. I watched it live, and I was like, "What?" I mean, like never close. And then they showed the replay, and it was like I could count the laces with my blind eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it's arguably the most clutch kicker of our generation, and for him to do that, it's like something went wrong here.
Oh, I missed it by 35 yards to the left.
Yeah, not even close. Frustrating.
Was not good, but hey,
I can't lie that I was not not unhappy about that outcome.
Yeah, well,
your Vikings, as I said before, Micah, your Vikings are going to cost me a perfect circa entry.
I like how now it's your again. You had a wee stretch for a while, and now you're just totally off the bandwagon.
Back off. I'm off.
Hot and cold. It's all right.
Off now. I'll be back on. They'll probably make a playoff run. They'll probably make a run into the playoffs. I'll get back on for a little while, and then I'll get back off.
See, the thing is for the Vikings is when I don't believe, that's when we do our best. I said 2 years ago, I was like, I don't think this team's that good. And we kept winning games. Then finally, I was like, we're going to lose to the Saints. We pull off a miracle, literally. And I'm like, that's it. Like, this is it. This is the team. And then the second I jumped on the bandwagon, we went to Philadelphia and just got buzzsawed. So that was that just goes to show you my luck. But anywho, that is going to do it. The teams are coming out. Carrie Underwood's beautiful self is on my television screen. Scott needs to get to the torture chamber. Jared needs to go put his kids to bed. I need to sit my fat butt down on a couch and watch some football. Thanks so much for tuning in, Junkies. We're out of here.
Hasta la vista.
The place beyond the pines.